upon a time there was this chill hottie. She left Joey Parker, now that was real naughty. Now here's JP just to tell you more. Now put down your pencils and give JP the floor. Cause I got plenty of...
Hello, this is moonsreactbiz. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're not new around here, nice to see you again. Today, we're talking about another Cinderella movie. Yes, I know. I've already made a video about Cinderella, and you can check it up somewhere up here, or maybe in the description box below, or you can just go to my channel and find it if I forget to do either of those two things. And basically, I watched that one a while back with the intent that I was going to review a lot of Cinderella movies, because they are very many, if that's the correct way to say it, and I like watching them, so sue me. After I made that video, I actually found out that it's a series, like there's a series of Cinderella movies, and that was like the third one in the trilogy, and the Hilary Duff one is number 1, and then the Selena Gomez one is number 2, and then the Lee Hill one is number 3, and I was like, what? And so of course I decided that we will continue watching this out of order, and so we were watching the second movie in that series. I was also shocked to find out that there were 3 other movies in the series, one released in 2016, another in 2019, and another in 2021. I don't know if I'm gonna watch those but I just thought it was interesting to mention because I thought it was done after those 3 movies. So let's talk about this movie. Synopsis: so there's going to be a stepmother, stepsisters, a best friend, or a godmother, and a guy to fall in love with. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So the movie begins with Mary, our Cinderella, having a performance of her lifetime. She's popping her hips, she's shaking her body, she's throwing her arms up into the air. She's talented, no doubt about it. And we find out that obviously that this is a dream. So she's interrupted from this dream by her stepmom Dominique, who adopted her after one of her backup dancers passed away, and she decided she needed more help around the house. If that's not a sign of how terrible she is, there's more coming for you. So she's interrupted by her, and we see that she's actually on a shoot, not for herself, sadly. She's not there yet, not quite yet. She's there for Dominique, who is shooting an ad for back acne.
I like clear skin, and that's the truth. All your sisters just look but baby got back knee.
Right? Because she used to be relevant back in the day. She was a singer. Apparently she sold songs. I don't know why that's so unbelievable, all the way I was just like, what did she sell? So Mary's like, okay, cool, let me go get you water. And we find out that she has stepsisters, which is not a shock because that's most Cinderella movies. And they antagonize her and try to make her not bring out the water because apparently she's already pushing the chute, slowing down the chute. I don't know, dude, like English is leaving me so hard right now. So after that, they all heading home, and enters Prince Charming, Joey Parker. We find out that Joey Parker, though not a triple threat, is pretty good at singing and dancing, and he's taking a break from his tour to come find a person to be in his next music video.
Just, get back to my roots, I'm taking my senior year off, going back to school. I'm just trying to keep it real.
The girls are going crazy. They're like, oh my god, he's coming back home and make him fall in love with me. Fair. I don't know if he's gonna fall in love with you, but it's always great to dream. Enter Mary's best friend Tammy, who is very passionate about fashion, has a trash car, according to Mary, and is dropping her to school. She's very sassy, very individualistic, and when they arrive, the first thing that happens to Mary is that Natalia, some girl who's friends I say some girl anyway, Natalia is friends with the 2 stepsisters, so obviously her job is also to antagonize Mary. So the minute Mary arrives, she just dumps her coke on her because she's like, it's called the one set diet, and then trashes the rest of it on her. So they're at school, and at the same time, Joey Parker has just arrived. Everyone was like, oh my god, Joey Parker. And he's just like, yes, I'm amazing. And his best friend is with him, Dustin. So as they're walking through the school, like obviously they're catching a lot of attention, and in comes Natalia straight up to Joey. That's his name, right? Joey, and she kisses him. I missed you when you were on tour or something and the like. And he's just like, whoa. I think he mentions how they've broken up, but like that does not deter her. She's just like, I want everyone to know that this is my man. here right now. A few moments before that, he did bump into Mary, and they have like a little hey moment, you know, which shows you that they have a little chemistry. Things are gonna get like spicier. Nah, this is a kids movie. It's gonna get better. The next thing that happens is Mary is skating to a dance studio, and we see that she is in a room opposite. Yes, I will insert a clip so you understand how terrible my description is. But she is in a room opposite to the actual dance class that is happening, but her mirror is a one-way mirror, so she can see into the class and they can't see her. She's like ready to dance. In enters Joey Parker, who obviously is a great dancer but is a superstar now, so you know we gotta get in that free labor, and he's leading the class. Oh, I love this moment so much. Like, the only moment, that's a lie, but one of the most monumental moments I remember from this movie consistently throughout my life is this dance scene. As Joey's on the other side, Mary's on the other side, they're mirroring each other's movements. It's like they can see each other, and then the song is killing it. Sometimes feels like everything's gonna to me. I don't know her name, but I only see her in my dream. Obviously this movie was made for actual singers, so yeah, but the song is extremely good, and the whole scene is thinking Natalia's throwing herself on him, but he's just like, nah girl, like, we're broken up. And both of them can actually dance in the scene. It's not like, oh, fake hype. I'm glad to say that it has held up over these years. It's still an iconic moment for me.
Sometimes feels like everybody wants something from me. I don't understand. I can only be one person as Joey. I got king, got fame, got everything in this world I need, but I don't know her name.
As I said, they're dancing, it's magnetic. Joey's looking into the mirror. He can't really see Mary, so I kind of feel like he was a bit narcissistic, like, I look amazing, which is fair because I would be saying that too if I could dance that way. And Mary's phone rings, and the whole class stops because they're like, no one's supposed to have their phones, but she's across the room and nobody knows she's across the room. So she rushes to pick up her phone, and it's like, Dominique is calling you because you have a job. So she has to rush back home, make dinner and everything, because who's coming over? Joey Parker. But her stepsisters see her and they're like, we gotta pluck this out of I don't know why I even try to use sayings at this point, because I don't even remember them coherently or fully enough to use them correctly in my videos. So you can imagine that I finished that whole sentence, and they show Mary this video of her when she was a kid, basically dancing to Joey Parker and saying, I love you, Joey Parker. And Mary's super embarrassed. I don't know why, but if I was a teenager, I guess I would have been too, because that's like incriminating. If I'm gonna try to seduce him, how am I gonna do it with that footage out there in the universe? And they say they have copies when she like takes it away from them. So Mary makes this whole dinner, and may I add, they make her wear this uniform. There will be a picture here somewhere, which just adds onto this Dominique's utter rudeness. And she's late to the event. So Mary's there serving people everything, and they're talking, and it's hilarious because Joey's mom is like, we want you to collaborate with Dominique because she's quite famous in different circles, you know, you could reach a different audience, you could reach people like me and your dad, and then I would buy a new. So Joey's like, you already have a house, and which audience exactly am I gonna reach? She hasn't sold a single CD in like decades or something as like, and I'm like, oh my god, you kind of accurate. But you didn't have to say it, especially because the daughters are there and they don't seem bothered at all. They're just like, okay, I'm trying to seduce him, I'm trying to make him fall in love with me, he's not like catching my vibes, but he's gonna get it, he's gonna get there because I'm amazing, which I like that energy, you know, keep that energy. Eventually Dominique comes down and she says it's because of her dress, which is actually horrible.
Don't laugh.
And she took like 20 minutes or an hour to send down the stairs, and she says that she's going to be wearing it in her next music video, which is going to be with Joey. And he's just like, everything descends into madness when Joey's like, I'm not doing with you as a like final thing. And as he's standing, I think he bumps into Mary and all the food sprays everywhere, and somehow she lands into his arms because it's that kind of movie. And she's like, we gotta stop meeting like this. And I'm like, They're kind of cute. Joey's best friend Dustin also proclaims at that moment that Joey's mom is no more his manager. He has one manager now, and that's him. And if you want to talk business, you have to talk to him. And then they leave. Mary gets her phone confiscated. Tammy comes to see her, and she's just like, oh, you know, prom, you should go. And Mary's like, no, single, Valentine's Day, none of those entice me. Which is fair. And her stepsisters hear this conversation, and they go to their mom, and they're like, she's trying to go to prom. And I'm acting that out perfectly, so hire me right now. Dominique's like, nah, that won't do. But it shows she's being massaged at the moment. She was like, I'm looking for a new daddy for you two. Which one of these men do you prefer? She may not be that famous, but she's still living the lifestyle, guys. Like, gotta salute her for that. Dominique is like, okay, I got this, okay? And she basically assigns Mary to clean her room, which is really dirty. Okay, I was about to say filthy, but like that seems like too harsh. But it's a mess. It's uninhabitable, so I don't know how she goes to bed every night. Mary's just like, yeah, no, Tammy, I can't go anymore. I have to clean. And Tammy's like, I got you, girl. She comes with her cousins, someone or something in the like, you know. It's a long family relation. You can't expect me to remember that, right? And she's like, they're gonna clean the room for you because they're like actual cleaners, so they're gonna clean it up while she goes to the ball. Okay, so we're at the ball and everyone's there. There's Joey, there's Dustin, there's Natalia, there's the stepsisters whose names I will never give you because I do not know them. And like Natalia's just like, I have to find Joey. And it's kind of hilarious that we all acting like that we wouldn't find Joey in this room for specific reasons, but I'll keep my mouth shut. And at that time, Mary enters the room. This is a black and white party, mind you, and her best friend has decided to make her wear a red dress. And everyone's like, how come she didn't get the memo? Natalia looks sick of her, but you know, Joey's like, she looks interesting. And I'm like, yes, she does. So the two of them interact during the thingy, and it's quite awkward, but then they're like, let's dance. And for someone who is very shy throughout the interaction, Mary's like, I'm not dancing to any music. And she goes and gives her AirPods. No, that's wrong. iPod? What was it called back in the day? The thing for music? Yeah, it's called an iPod. Yes, so she gives her version of an iPod, which is called a Zune in this movie. So after this point, I'll be saying Zune. And the song comes on. The two of them start dancing. Everyone forms a circle, and they're kind of killing it. It is a really good dance, and you can just see the chemistry sparking off of them. And in that moment, Natalia is like, that's Joey because he's a great dancer. And then after that, the stepsisters make her fall down with like throwing like beads or something onto the floor, because apparently that's just rain around in bowls at this party because it was a stylistic choice. Mary's like, I messed up, like how could you ever think I was cool? And he goes like, but you were a great dancer while you were. And then he just takes off his mask, and I'm just like, Joey's kind of a genius, because he was just like, if you were already not into me after that dance, let me solidify this with my name. I'm Joey Parker. And Mary's like, gasp, it's Joey Parker. And he wants to know who she is, but at that same time, the bell rings, the clock strikes, and she's like, I have to go. And she runs to the DJ like, I need my Zune. And the DJ's taking a few moments, because obviously like, this is so fast, like you were just dancing, we were going through your playlist, now you want to like rush. And she's like, now please. And she takes it, and she's running out, it falls down. She rushes back home really fast because obviously Dominic has to come. She manages to make it on time and sneak out the cleaners. During the ball, Tammy and Dustin also get along with each other because he like admires her fashion and she admires his, and they sort of laugh around and get close. Like, so the next day, Joey and Dustin are talking about her, and he's just like, she's the girl of my dreams, I really need to find her. Dustin's like, I got you, let's do this. They go to the admin office and basically announce that he is looking for her, and whoever can name the 4 most replayed songs on her Zune, which is her iPod, remember that, he'll know that it's her. So at lunchtime, everyone's lining up, and they're trying to name the 4 songs, but like they're obviously flopping, and like Joey's like, I'll never find her, I should just just give up. And his friend's like, calm down, let's take a break, and we'll get back to this. At that time, Mary and Tammy are passing by the cafeteria, and they talk about how it's her, and Tammy's like, you have to tell him. And at that time, her stepsisters hear about it. So the stepsisters find out, and they like go to Mary at some point after school, and they're like, if you go to him and tell him that you're the dream girl, we'll play that video of you when you were a kid singing about him. Mary's really insecure about that video, and as I said, like, how are you gonna make someone fall for you if you show that you're already a fan? You know what I mean? So they threaten her. After they threaten her, they both start looking for the song. So at least one of the stepsisters start looking for the song. She finds it. She rushes out. The other sister tries to find it. She can't. She's just like, I'm just gonna like try my luck, you know. It is what it is. First stepsister goes to him, and she was like, I'm the girl you've been looking for. And he legit scoffs. He laughs like, I could never be you, right? And she tells him the 4 most replayed songs, and he's just like, I want to take back my words. Like, no, that's not good enough. So he decides that she has to dance with and she's like, I can't do it because there's no music. And he's like, well, if you were her, then you'd be able to do it. So she embarrasses herself in front of everyone in the cafeteria, which lines up with her character. And then the next sister tries to do it as well, but he's just like, really, like, another one of you, and he bypasses her. And then finally Mary approaches him because Tammy is like, you have to tell him. She doesn't know that her stepsisters have already done this. So he goes to her. So she goes to him and she says, it's me, Joey. And then after that, he's just like, Dominic is relentless. It was really nice bumping into you, which he was nicer to her than everyone else. But like, nah, you know what I mean? Because he remembers her as the girl who works for Dominic. So it's the twins' 16th birthday party, and once again, Mary's busy serving food for everyone. Like, they abuse her here. They're like, never a moment where we're actually gonna pay people. Tammy and Dustin meet up there, and he realizes that she's his mystery girl because it was like a masquerade party. And the two of them are like, oh my god, is your friend here? Oh my god, is your friend here? And they're like, let's set them. Dustin calls Joey. Joey comes in, and just as Mary and Joey are about to be like, you're the one, you know, the twins and Natalia, I'm gonna keep that name, play the recording. So she runs out crying, and Joey's trying to stop her. He's like, it's okay, and she's gone, crying in bed. But she's like, I'm not gonna stay down for too long. And that's what I love about her. She changes out of her clothes after her crying sesh, comes out with the stereo, and she plays it outside, and it's the song from Prom's Night. And Joey's like, can you hear that? And then he goes outside and he goes like, it's you. You try to tell me, and I completely shut you down. And then he basically speaks about how he would like to go out with her, and she says yes. So after this, Mary gets a letter from the Manhattan School of Arts or something of the like, and they're like, we want you to come in for audition. So she tells Joey, and he's like, yeah, great. Let me teach you some moves. So on the weekend that he's supposed to teach her some moves, her stepsisters assign her some tasks, posing to be like Dominique because she leaves the country, and they're completely ridiculous, but it makes Joey and Mary get even closer, and they dance and clean. It's sort of like Mr. Miyagi-esque training but for dancing, which was kind of cute to watch. And my scarf is proper now. If it was waving around before this, no, you didn't see that. Okay, so later that day, Joey sends her roses, and she's just like, come to my patio, you know. And Mary is like excited, so Tammy drops her off. But when she arrives there, Natalia is already in Joey's room in like a blouse. It's PG, you know. But she's like coming onto him, and Mary's just like, oh no, and runs away. We find out that this was all devised by the stepsisters and Natalia to like break them up. And it works. And Mary arrives home the next morning because she told Tammy that Joey will just drop me home. So yeah, it was a long walk apparently. Apparently he lives really far from her house because she arrives in the morning the next day to her place, and Dominique is sitting there, and she's just like, okay, let me talk to you, and trying to offer her advice, which is all pretty much shitty. But she's just like, yeah, you know, never trust a man like Joey. He's the C-list, D-list star, like, which is hilarious because she's genuinely describing herself. But she was like, I don't know why you would think he'd ever like you. And then after that, Mary's just like, I can't wait until I leave you, which is so fair because I thought for one moment you were gonna be like a good mother, right? And she's just like, what do you mean? How do you think you're living here? you just got a letter from the Manhattan School of Arts that they cancelled your audition, which is actually so sneaky of her, because when the Manhattan School of Arts called their home and they were asking about a date that Mary could come for the audition, Dominique was just like, she broke both her legs, please don't call back, because, you know, it's going to hurt our family for her to keep on hearing about this. So now Mary is not only out of a boyfriend, but out of a dream. So the next day she goes to school and she basically ices Joey out, and Joey's just like, oh no, and goes to Dustin. Dustin, do you know why this is happening to me? Like, I can't deal. The love of my life doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Dustin's like, I got you. So he goes to Tammy, but she's also like trying to ice him out. They manage to talk to her and she explains the situation. He goes like, no, she was there that night. We're not anything, blah 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 blah. And then Tammy also explains that the Manhattan School of Arts has cancelled her audition, and he was like, why would they do that to her? And he goes like, I'll sort this out. And I like that, because we do need this to be sorted out. Now it's the competition. Mary's at home, she doesn't want to come, but Tammy arrives with Dustin and she's just like, please go, like, I'm telling you as your friend, please go. And so she listens because she trusts Tammy, which is so cute. When she arrives there, everyone is busy performing. Dominique is also there, the stepsisters are there, everyone is there. We also see that someone from the Manhattan School of Arts is there as well in the crowd. So people perform, they dance, they sing. We have a bit of a moment for Natalia to show that she's talented, you know. And people are like, wow, she's actually quite good. And then eventually Joey comes on stage because it's over, and obviously he's the star of the show, like an actual pop star is here. Let him show us why he's known as a dancer singer extraordinaire. And he comes on stage and he's doing a very good job. And then after that, everyone's hyped. They're like, yeah. And he's like, wait a minute, which is terrible of him. But he's doing a good thing, because he's just like starts sort of ragging on Mary, and she like rags on him back like, you're the one who told me that I'm the reason why you continue dancing in the first place. He goes like, so come up here and show me. And then she comes up onto the stage and the dancing is not that great. I'm not gonna lie to you. But the auditions person is liking it, which is important, because I'm not the person who's going to take her into school. It's them, right? Yeah, so they perform together and it's a really good performance. Everyone really enjoys it. And then once they're done, like, Mary's still angry and Joey has to beg, which I really liked, you know, like what I mean, like he has to beg for her forgiveness, and she eventually decides to forgive him because she understands that it was Natalia and them who did it. And then at that time, Dominique comes onto the stage and she's like, how could you disgrace our family like this? How could you do this to me? How could you do this to your sisters? And as she's going on her tirade, the person from Manhattan School of Arts, this is such a long name, dude, and it's not even the right one. The person has 2 broken legs. She dances really well, and she's just like, we'll be glad to welcome you into our school in future, which is like, yay. Okay, I think before this, I don't know if the winning was announced before or after this, I can't lie to you, but when they do announce the winner, it's Mary, which is very unfair. I cannot lie to you. Like, she performed with a pop star, like she wasn't even on the stage for the entirety of the performance, but she's been suffering all her life, so I guess sometimes things have to be unfair for other people. Dominic at some point falls off the stage, so the last scene we see Mary and the rest of her friends packing stuff into Tammy's car, and they're busy talking about when they will see each other again, because she was accepted into the Manhattan School of Arts and she's leaving that dump. It's actually not a dump, it's a really, really nice house, can't lie to you, it's like a mansion. And Dominique is there and she's just like, don't leave me with it. And it ends with her driving off into the sunset. I'm just adding that on because that's how fairy tales end. So I really enjoy this movie, I can't lie to you. You could tell by the way I was talking about it. It's eerily similar to the one I reviewed initially, like the third movie, which is a bit weird, I guess, because it's a series, so I think they could have tried to be a bit more innovative with the ideas. It's eerily similar, but this one is really good. I will be making more videos about Cinderella movies, not consecutively, because I feel like I'd just be fed up if I did that. So, you know, subscribe for that, or subscribe for the fact that you enjoyed this video and like it as well, and I will see you next time. Bye.
You're the new classic. You're the
new PYT.